Hey everybody, oh, we got applause. Woo. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much, thank you. I could not be happier. Welcome to another episode of Chase Jarvis Live. I'm a photographer and a director. For those of you out there on the internets that don't know that, I hope you're familiar with my work, but thank you so much for tuning in, and thanks again. We have people who have come from all over the world. You won a contest to be here, and I can't thank you. I mean, we got Florida, we got some Switzerland, we got a New York, a New Jersey, a bunch of people locally here, so huge thank you. Can you give yourselves a round of applause, please? Yeah, I love it. Wow. Very, very special episode today. First of all, our guests, Chryde, who, if you do not know about the Blogotheque or takeaway shows or the pocket parties, soirée de poche, you have not lived fully. Basically, he's changed music. He was an early pioneer in underground music in the little parties that goes on in Paris. Absolutely stunning, and he's got hundreds and hundreds of shows, and he's worked with the best artists in the world. He's going to be on the show. It's absolutely amazing. We've got Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, local town favorites. They are just slaying it right now. They recently packed the Key Arena, 10,000 people. It's going to be an unreal show. We get to talk, though, too. That's one of the things I like about Chase Jarvis Live is the format where it's really casual. We'll be taking questions from you. We're going to be taking questions from you, #CJLive. You can fire off your questions. We'll go to the phones, as I say. I hope I have one of these things rigged up here. Yeah, there we go. And any and all folks up here on these couches are going to be able to answer your questions throughout the course of the show. We're broadcasting for 90 minutes. We got a lot of stuff to give away, too. In fact, we have so much stuff to give away that I brought in an actual stuff giveaway person, because it's absolutely seriously true. His name is Fred, and there's a contest that was going on for the last 2 days to retweet the URL, and that ended right when the show started, and he's been over here picking them. So take it away, Fred, and tell me who wins something right now.
Yeah, that's how much stuff we have to give away. We're wasting no time. We're going right into it. So the winners of the as yet unseen Low Pro Messenger 200 AW and Low Pro DSLR Video Fastpack are, you ready for this, Chase?
I am. Drum roll, please.
At Photo Elvis and at Carlin LT. So congrats right there. Bam. We're giving away good stuff. So thanks for bringing me in here. I'm kicking it back to you.
Thanks. I'm exhausted from all
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's a lot. It's some good stuff, though.
But it's true. Now we're going to cut right into the action again, all the way from Paris, France. I was there last week, basically recruiting this guy. Come on, man, it's going to be amazing. He is one of the busiest guys in the world. Has a schedule very similar to mine, and we managed to pluck him from Paris, all the way from Paris, France. Please welcome Chryde. Yeah, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yes, make yourself comfortable. Do we have some champagne? This man is French. We probably need some champagne up here.
Yeah, in the morning.
In the morning, of course. The more you can use the French accent, the more ladies will love this.
No problem.
No, pas de problème. Thank you so much for coming all the way over, buddy. Quite literally. Yeah, go ahead and bring it on out. Mimosa.
This is not some champagne.
This is a mimosa, probably. No, it's actually orange juice. Take that back. Cheers, brother. Thank you very much for coming. All right. So one of the themes of the show, and I've been writing about this week on the blog, is how to basically create your dream life. Because so many people that I know that are in the creative field, they had a shitty job before. They didn't like what they were doing. They felt held down, and there was this other thing that they could be doing that there was a lot of fear built up. How do I do that? And I look at folks that are doing it and say, how do I do that? Your story to me was incredible. You called yourself a super fan, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, like, how did you get from A to B? Because what you're doing right now is incredible.
I was a high-tech journalist because I didn't manage to get a job in music journalism. But I was still a fan, so I kept all my free time going to shows and listening to records and writing about it. And then the internet came, and suddenly I could write about the artists that I love on the web. And
That's when you started Blogotheque?
yeah, eight years ago. It was just frustration. I was writing about Google and Apple all day, and I wanted to write about music. So I launched a small blog with a few blogger friends in France, and we were passionate and we were writing differently, and it kind of started to get known. And then we decided one day to make some videos, and that worked.
And that worked. And the videos that you made are basically extraordinary. If you guys, I'm gonna fill his mouth full of words for a second because he's too humble. That's the French part. Basically, the takeaway shows are one-take videos where a band just plays in a remarkable location, and you follow them throughout Paris, and you've prearranged. It's in a really unique. You play in a bus, in a car. And you get folks like Arcade Fire, like Fleet Foxes, doing things that are completely out of what they would normally do. And the results are absolutely astonishing. So tell me about, how did you decide to do that first?
Blogotheque was starting to get known, and I got requests for interviews of bands and all, and I had a day job, so I couldn't free myself to do interviews, and I didn't care. That was not my stuff. So I wanted to do video. It was starting at the time. YouTube was just getting to launch.
Yeah, it was maturing. I remember that time.
Maturing. Yeah. And I found myself at more and more shows with more and more people like filming the shows with a shitty camera and then putting it on YouTube. And none of them were great, but all of them were capturing some moment. But I was like, we should do something new. We should try to think of something new. And the story is that the Arcade Fire played their very first show in Paris. It was in a small venue, 300 people. And at the end of their show, they went down the stage, crossed the crowd, and went out in the street. And the security people from the venue prevented everybody to get out but 5 or 6 people. So I was there with 290 people into the venue, not knowing what was happening, and 10 minutes later we heard the music and we saw the band coming back, and one of my friends was out with them, and he came to me and he told me, "Where were you?" And I was like, "Yeah, the security people didn't let us out." It's like, "It was amazing, we played in the streets, like we made it around the block playing music, it was incredible." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna like take bands, put them in a city, and have them playing in unusual conditions and film it." And then I had the idea, and it took me a year to be able to make the first movie, because at that time, when you were calling the labels to ask them, "We would like to film the bands," they were like, yeah, you would like to film them in the studio? No. You would like a photo shoot? No. You would like an interview? No. What do you want? We want to put them in a bus. I'm not sure about it. And it was like, I got so many refusals until one day a friend from a label came to me and said, "I've got this small band, a Spinto band. Would you like to come and film them like you wanted?" So we took them to a shitty bar. We asked the bartender to cut down the Eric Clapton acoustic music in the bar, and we recorded it. And at that time, just before I met this guy, Vincent Moon, who was a photographer, a very good photographer and a very crazy guy. And I asked him, "Do you want to film that?" And he said, "Yeah, okay." And he gave the phone to it because the guy is incredibly talented. And so we began with one, and then 2 days later we filmed Jens Leckman on a balcony in the night, and then we went on and on and on.
And how many now? How many you got?
I think we have more than 350 artists and 1,300 videos.
1,300 videos. So there's several things that stuck out for me. One, a year from idea, from conception to execution. And that's called hard work, right? That is like, you have to find out how to work with your day job, you have to get the cameras, you have to work really hard to get bands, you have to build a website, and all that time, if you're doing a job that you don't like, whatever that job is, if it's waiting tables and you're just sitting there buying time, then it's perfect. If you're in a cubicle and you don't want to be there, then a year seems to drag on and drag on. When you're on this path, as soon as you decided you were going to do this, talk to me about that year. It was just pure anticipation, pure focus, was it not?
Yeah, it was pure focus, but at the same time, I needed my job. So the fact is, when the takeaway shows began, it was like I'd been in my job doing 6 years, so I knew how to do it. So I'm sorry for my former boss, but I used to work 2 hours a day for my boss. And the good thing is I was a technology writer, so at that time in 2004...
Looked like you just wrote really slowly, right?
Yeah, and the thing, they didn't know anything, so I managed to negotiate that I would have a private ADSL connection, a private MacBook, because I was a technology writer, so I needed a MacBook. And it was a way of doing it. And then it became so big that at one time I couldn't manage both, so...
But that theme right there is for those of you out in the internet world who are, I'm not sure what camera's live right now, but for those of you who are out there in the internet world, like that is a common thing. It's not just, you don't necessarily just blow up your life and step in and say, oh, I hope my photography works out, I hope my filmmaking career works out. What you actually get is a transition phase, like you wait tables, you bartend, you park cars, whatever you gotta do to segue. In this case, you lied to your boss and used his computer. But but the same thing is like, but you manage this transition and you do it intelligently, and with every waking spare hour you're spending it on the thing that you love more than anything in the world, which for you was music, right? Yeah. So can we talk about that for a second? Last night over, I think, the Second Manhattan, you told me a story about being at boarding school and wanting to go to the Iron Maiden concert.
Yeah, I'm going live, and the first thing you're talking is about my Iron Maiden past.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be like
cool.
Indie
cred? Okay. Hey, I listened to Metallica.
Yeah, so. I was 17, I was at a boarding military school, and we didn't have any authorization to go out except on Saturday nights. And at that time, heavy metal was big, and I was a huge heavy metal fan. And Iron Maiden and other bands were playing in the city where my boarding school was, and I was like desperate. I was like, fuck, I'm French. I was like, I want to go out and see those concerts, but I cannot, I don't have the authorization. So I realized that one of the chaperones of the school was also a fan of heavy metal, so I went to him and I told him, maybe what we could do is like build a heavy metal club, and we would all...
This is at a French boarding school. Okay.
Military
school.
And we could like organize ourselves, and so we go to shows and you chaperone us and you tell the principal that it's gonna be okay. And he told me, yeah, why not, but you do it. So I was 17 and I went to the principal of he was a colonel. I was into the colonel's office.
Translation, colonel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I told him, yeah, I like Iron Maiden. Can I go out and see shows? I guarantee that there are going to be guys to chaperone us. We'll take the bus and go back. And I managed to do it. So twice a month, everybody was staying at school on Wednesday nights, and you had like 20 kids taking their T-shirts and Iron Maiden stuff and going out to the shows. And yeah, we were the only one allowed to get out to see the devil. Music. So, yeah, and I think that's the first time I really managed to like go through barriers and to get what I wanted about music.
So that's an absolutely perfect segue. Let's talk about all the barriers, because I know I get an incredible amount of email and all the social commentary that goes on out there in the world, and so much of it is about how do I do it? How do I break through? I keep coming against these barriers, and the equation that I use is the barriers in my mind is the barriers are there to keep everybody else who doesn't want it as much as you do out. And so I look at a barrier as an opportunity that's going to stump most of the people who don't want it as bad as I do, and I'm going to get through it. So barriers are a theme, if I'm not mistaken, from our conversation last night. And you had to continue to push through them. I want to ask another story, if I may, about barriers. The first time you realized that you could actually get backstage and become, because what Chryde has done is remarkable. He gets amazing musicians to do amazing things when in a world of red tape and bureaucracy, and in order to get the most out of the artist and what you want. And so what's the first time that you ever saw that? What's the first time you actually broke through one of those barriers that were there for you?
That was in New York. That one, the New York one.
The Jeff Buckley one.
Oh, the Jeff Buckley one, the lion one. Yeah, so 2 or 3 years later, I quit heavy metal because I had to
be cool.
To be cool and get some girls, so I had to quit the thing. And I was a huge fan of Jeff Buckley at the time, and he was playing at a festival in Lyon. That's a city in the south of France with a beautiful antique theater. And during the afternoon, when they began rehearsing and sound checking, you could sit in the antique theater and watch it. But after 10 minutes, there was like a security guard telling people to go out. And I wanted to stay. And I realized that just behind me, there was a guy with a pass. So I went close to him and told him, could you please tell them I'm with you and the security guy is coming? And the guy looked at me and, well, why not? And so the guy said to the security guard, yeah, it was me as a journalist, whatever. So I stayed. And afterwards, I sneaked backstage. That's where I met Jeff Buckley's guitarist and drummer. And we got, we hanged up. Well, we hanged out. And we had fun, etc. And then they told me, "Oh, we're gonna play some soccer. Could you come?" So I played soccer.
So you were watching their sound check. You snuck in. You're watching their sound check. Then you played soccer with the band that were your heroes and that you were there to see.
Yeah, that was awful. That was a terrible moment because I was like, "Oh my God, I suck at soccer." and if I break Jeff Buckley's ankle just before his show, it's gonna be like, shame.
Okay, so fast forward and you got to stay backstage, is that right?
I got fired, then I stick back again, and then I went to the guitarist, Jeff Buckley, no, the drummer. The drummer said, oh yeah, come, we're gonna ask for a pass to a security guy. I was like, oh my God, no. And he took Marianne Faithfull, musician, for a security guard. And he gave me the pass, so we hanged out all night, and then they told me, hey, are you coming to Paris in 2 days? We're playing the Olympia, which is like the best show Jeff Buckley ever gave. And I was like, no, I'm living in Lyon. No, I didn't plan to go in Paris. And I said, yes. Okay, we'll put you on the list. So I asked my best friend, who's now my associate, okay, do you have a car? He had an old Deux Chevaux, you know, and we made Lyon, Paris in the old car like this to go to the Olympia. And I saw the show, and then we went backstage. And then I remember we were trying to learn cheesy songs to Jeff Buckley backstage with some friends. And then they told me, oh, are you coming into the East at the Hurricane Festival? And I was like, no, I didn't plan. I said, yes. And I hitchhiked to the festival and went there. And so I made like 5 Jeff Buckley shows in a row like this. And I didn't have the takeaway show at the time. It would have been a good takeaway show, Jeff Buckley back there.
But that was really, and you got some insight. There's, again, a couple of takeaways if I can translate. One, you saw that it's basically this do anything attitude. We're not talking like lying, cheating, stealing, killing here. That's off the radar, right? We're not doing that, not cool. But basically willing to drop all your plans and follow your dream, if it's Jeff Buckley across France, and then do it again when the opportunity is presented, and again and again. And I have that same feeling, that same experience, just choosing to do the thing that you're most passionate about, and having to say no to a bunch of really cool stuff. But there's a certain discipline and a certain passion that you get when you're buzzed. And it's kind of, I end up being a little bit of a career counselor as a side job from a photographer, because I thank my lucky stars every day about the job that I get to do for a living. But there's something that's so empowering when you're on the path that you need to be on. As soon as you decide to step on path, it's like all of the things, for me, they just get fuzzy and then like laser focus on the goal. So like that was really, really insightful. What was the first time that you, like tell me about like manufacturing the passes too. You guys, I'm pulling out all the dirt here. I don't want to get you caught. I don't want you to get in trouble. You're
never talk to the host of a talk show the day before his passes. Never. It's like, after the Jeff Buckley thing, I made friends with this girl who with whom I tried to learn cheesy songs to Jeff Buckley. And we were students, we didn't have money, and we wanted to go to shows, and we had plenty of time, we were students. And so what we did is we were waiting in the afternoon in front of the venues, and we learned every name of the band, of the people in the band, especially the drummers and the bass player, because nobody cares about them usually. And we were waiting for them to go from the venue to the bus at a moment, and we were going to them and, oh, hey, John, yeah, oh, I love your band, yeah, oh, I would love to go to your show, but I got no money, I'm a student, blah, 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 blah. And we managed, they gave us some pass and say, yeah, come to my show, etc. And after a while, we realized that we had the sticky passes for every tour company of every color, and they're gonna hate me when I go. And we used to Tipex them. So we were going to a show and looking at the passes and, oh, it's Black Day. Okay, we take the black, we Tipex, write the name of the band, and we went like this. And that's how I didn't pay any show for 3 or 4 years.
Again, so that underscores my point, is there's just sort of the do anything, and you can call it unethical. I think it's more like childhood humor and making stuff work, but you're removing these obstacles and things that get in your way.
But don't do this at home.
Do not do this at home,
Yeah,
of course.
That's illegal.
But so let's fast forward a little bit from that point to when you're actually making the takeaway shows. And we have a couple queued up. And actually, while we're looking, has anyone noticed my sweet shoes? Limited edition Sub Pop Nikes right there. Boom. And speaking of Sub Pop, that was my nice little transition to, we should watch the Fleet Foxes takeaway show that you guys created. Is that queued up? I think it is. If there's a chance for us to watch that right now, that would give the folks at home and the folks in the audience a little more info on what it is that you're talking about making. So let's take it away, Dee.
Let's drive to the countryside, leave behind something green I look alike, so no one gets worried, no. So no one gets worried, no. But Sean, don't get careless, I'm sure
You get to feel. Can I have a little round of applause for that? It's beautiful. Wow. So that sort of stuff, like it's easy to see now, like, oh man, there's a musician walking the streets. First guy to do it. So what did we just see right there? That was the Fleet Foxes, right?
yeah, everybody was very tired because the day before we had a Blogotheque party in Paris and we had them playing their first show in Paris, and we had them beginning in the middle of the crowd. We like having bands beginning the songs in the middle of the crowd. And the video of them singing in the middle of the crowd is not that good because there was a girl singing very bad behind them next to the microphone who was like yelling, and it was awful. But and yeah, for the Fleet Foxes, it's one of the few times we really pick the location before. Usually we improvise, we take the bands, we say, what do you want? Okay, let's go, and we're gonna see what happens. For the Fleet Foxes, I wanted some huge reverb. And
because they got that Simon Garfunkel, those harmonies and all that stuff, right?
And the thing is, a friend from Blogotheque had a friend who worked at Grand Palais, which is one of the most beautiful buildings in Paris, and who told us there is an abandoned place in Grand Palais when you can go. And so we discovered the place like this, and we were like, oh my God.
And this is non-permitted, this is, you just went for it, right? You get your buddy let you in the back door.
He had to sign some paper at that time because
Okay.
it's like an official government place. And yeah, what was amazing is like in that sort of cases, the band is like, what are we gonna do? And once you take them to that place, and they're like, oh my God, and they're like, I have to be good because the place is huge. So that was great. But usually we're more like totally improvising. This one is a bit particular because you don't have any audience. What we like the more is really to take the musicians and put them in a city and try to see how the city reacts. That's why we only have one camera and very light sound equipment. It's because we want the people in the street to look at the music first and not to feel like they're being shot or.
And that
say
gives
hello
us
to the
real
camera.
natural, like that's what is so. I mean, they're just walking around looking. And for those of you that I don't know if you have any famous friends, the guys like the Fleet Foxes, they spend their lives on stage in front of tens of thousands of people every night. And when you have done something very, very different and you just let them be, like that's what's unusual. So for those of you that were expecting a music video, that is the antithesis. It's like the anti-music video. And when that hadn't been done before, and when you can put a musician like that, like Pecknold, at ease and just let him walk around and be comfortable, it's beautiful. That's them in their natural state. And that's what's so amazing about what I believe you were able to accomplish. And it's beautiful. That's been seen like, how many times has that video been seen on?
More than 1 million, I think.
1.5 million times.
This one,
like that,
this one is quite popular. It's like the most popular we have are Beirut. Mm-hmm. With Beirut, we made a crazy thing. We made his whole album as a takeaway show. We filmed every song from the Flying Club Cup as a takeaway show. So Beirut, the Arcade Fire, Bon Iver, and the Fleet Foxes and Phoenix are the most.
And those all have like 1 million views. So the takeaway here is what he translated. I'm going to tell the big story. Translated a love for music, sneaking into clubs, and you said, I'm going to make this work. And you started like purely following your passion without any money, right? There's no money. You were transitioning in a job.
No.
And
still little money.
Still little money, but you're doing what you want, and you don't like. I think if you guys saw the last episode of Chase Jarvis Live, Chris Jordan was saying when you're doing what you love and you're not working, you're richer than the biggest billionaire because you're doing what you love. And to me, that's the statement that stuck. And when I hear about what it is that you've done to convert this, go from journalist to director and producer of these amazing videos, that's.
The other great thing that helped a lot is that the project was really exciting other people, and so I found incredible people working for us. It's like, I started with Vincent Moon, but I had many other directors and camera guys working for me and doing incredible stuff. And on the sound, it's incredible because at first we only had a very small Sony camera and mini disc and a microphone. And then we got much more equipment in the sound. And I remember there was a guy called Francois who was a sound engineer and wrote us one day and said, hey guys, you could do better sound, I can help you. And since then he's been working for us and with us, for us when there's money, with us when there's no money. But, and he's been improving the sound incredibly. so I'm super proud because I really found incredible people who were able to put all of their talent and imagination to do those movies, and it's like.
Well, but I'm taking away things all the time here, and that's, so you started out and you didn't have the right equipment, but you made the work anyway. Like, to me, there's this obsession with gear that drives me crazy. I respect gear. Gear is a necessary part of the job, but having the perfect thing or the absolute, I'm not going to shoot this assignment until I get this thing, or that's crap.
Gear is bullshit. It's like so many people have good gear but are not careful enough to do good things. It's like you get a 5D Mark II, you're super happy, and you're not having a good microphone to make good sound, and you film a band in the street and you cannot hear anything. Too bad. You better have a bad camera but taking care of the sound. At the beginning we only had a mic and a mini disc, but we were taking care of it because
that's what you had.
When you do a music video, a live thing, it's like if the sound is bad, people go away already, whatever the image is. So
but you pushed forward without the perfect gear, and that's the thing for me that is a huge takeaway. And I listen and to the commentary online. There's so much of it about like I'm going to wait to do this until I X or until I Y, until I skip my day job, until I do this. Like, be gangster about it. Stay up till 3 a.m. Go in late. Borrow your friend's camera and make something. Like, I don't know if you saw a post I did on the blog recently. It was like 10 things every creative person should know. And the last one is make something. If you're not making something, you're a poser. The equivalent is, Steve Jobs is like ship the product, put it out there. It's not gonna be perfect, but over time it's gonna get more and more impressive. And that, when now that you're at over 300 videos or 300 takeaway shows and over 1,300 documentaries and whatnot, that to me that's when your stuff starts really getting good. And that's how many years now? 5 years, 6 years?
5 years. Yeah, 5.5.
5 years.
We made a takeaway show 4 days after my son was born. I'm a bad dad. But I took the band to sing a lullaby to my son, so I'm a good dad.
That's pretty sweet. Let me put this on pause for just a second. We're taking questions, #CJ Live. I don't have any tally lights. I do want to take a second. There are a bunch of people that are supporting the show. Polaroid, B&H, Chimera Lighting, Broncolor, Epson, Low Pro. Gosh, there's a lot of folks that have come together to help make this happen. This is not a cheap thing to put on. I want to say thanks. And I know that Fred, we're not going to you yet, buddy. We're not going to you yet, but I wanted to say thank you. I'm going to fire a hard question at you. If you would give advice to someone who is not doing the thing that they want to be doing right now, and there's a million reasons. Like, I'm not trying to rip on the people that are in cubicles, because I know so many of them that are amazing human beings, and for reasons like children and mortgages and all, there's all kinds of right reasons to be doing the things that they're doing. But if they have the instinct to break out, give them a recipe. How did you do it, and what should be in their mind share? What should they be thinking?
Wow, I feel like Steve Jobs at a conference, like, follow your dreams. And I don't know, what I would say to people is like, first, believe the ideas that come from the core of you. Don't try and think that you have an idea because you saw something cool and you want to reproduce it. It's like, if you have a core idea that's coming from you, from what you are, yeah, you should follow it. But be careful of thinking your idea very well. And yeah, you have to launch yourself, you have to go, etc. But try and think of what makes this idea of this willing truthful to you. It's like, you also have to be careful not to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Right. Well,
because it's
keeping it real,
fun and cool. It's like, really, I think that the takeaway show, they worked also because we were incredibly sincere about it. It's like, the takeaway shows took form along the way. At first, we didn't know what we were doing. We just wanted to do something. And then at first we were just filming bands in unusual places. Then we realized that we could push bands to play their songs differently. There is a story very funny. It's like with the Grizzly Bear. it's one of the of most famous. It was before Yellow House, before they were known, and we filmed them in an apartment in Paris, and they took care of all the arrangements, everything was perfect, etc. And then they had to go to a restaurant. And the manager told us, no, they don't take any guitar in the streets, and because we have to go to restaurants. And while in the street, Vincent and I were like, could we do something? Could we do something? Could we do something? And we were harassing them so much that at the time they said, okay, let us talk. So they talked for 5 minutes, came back to us and said, okay, we have to be able to put a veto on what we are doing because we never tried this before. And they performed their song Knife a cappella, only a cappella in the street while walking in the street. And it was like completely impromptu, a little bit awkward, but incredible. And we put this online. And the band came back to France 6 months ago, and the guys from the band came to us and said, oh my God, that's incredible. In every city we played in America, there was at least somebody telling us, oh my God, I saw your Paris video, it's incredible. And then you got videos of student choirs, choirs, covering this a cappella version of the thing. So, and that day we realized that, oh my God, if we want, we can push the artists to reinvent their songs, push them out of their boundaries, out of the traditional schema. And we didn't know that before. It was like, oh my God. And it was a work in progress each time, like this. And when we put the Arcade Fire in, playing in a crowd of 3,000 people, it was the same thing. It was like 2 hours before. We didn't know. But we said, hey, why not? Yeah, that's my advice. Hey, why not?
I'm going to summarize your advice and follow your dreams. Like the follow your dreams part, like, and it sounds so cheesy, but if you're trying to make something that everyone else is trying to make, it's going to look like what everyone else is trying to do. And when I feel like I became a much better artist is when I started looking at what's in here. I've said it before in the Dasein project. I hope you guys are familiar with that you have to be making things that no one else in the world can make. And the only way you can do that, you can differentiate what it is that you're doing from other people, is you're the only person that lives your life and has your background, your set of skills, your vision. Why not take advantage of that? Why have all of the inputs be from out there? Listen to some of the inputs that are here. And that's what you did with the takeaway shows. I'm going to have cut to one. I don't want to show too much of this one because this is a yet unreleased one. When's the release date? Is sometime in next month in New York, is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna screen it November 7th, and then the movie is gonna be out 4 days later. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a world premiere for you folks here in the audience and you folks at home. Never ever been seen before. Do you want to introduce it?
Yeah, it's now we're making more ambitious movies, like not just a song format, but like 25, 30 minutes movies. And I wasn't there when the shooting happened because I was scared. No, I don't know. It's like, so there is this guy, Saul Williams, who's like an incredible musician.
Saul Williams, you guys know, spoken word poet, musician, genius.
And he came to us and said, hey guys, I want to make a movie. I would like somebody to take me to play into the catacombs. The catacombs is that city under the city in Paris, and a small part of it is open to the public and is neat and clean, and most of it is closed and it's illegal to go there. And he told us, yeah, I want to go to the catacombs, and I think you can do that. So
the artist challenged you.
Yeah, and so Francois, my sound guy, had a friend who's a cataphile, likes catacombs, and Francois and Colin, the director, they went during, I think it's 8 or 9 hours with Saul Williams into the catacombs, in the dirt, in the mud, etc. And they played very, very weird, intense movie when you can hear the drops and you can sometimes just see Saul's eyes into the dark, and it's kind of
It's pitch black. I mean, there's a light, and you'll see that in just a second. Let's just go right there. We're not going to see the whole thing.
No, we're going to see just one part when he goes berserk.
Yes. With that, let's go watch Saul Williams. Takeaway shows. What do you call that one?
The Stone Bench.
The Stone Bench.
hard to remember the love that sprang from simplicity. It's hard to maintain. It's getting harder 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 to maintain. It's getting harder. Love that's conquered over. It's hard to remember the deal that conquered over. It's hard to maintain. It's getting harder to maintain. It's getting harder to maintain. It's getting harder to maintain. It's getting harder. It's getting harder to maintain. 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 It's getting harder. Patience over anxiety. It's hard to remember the love that sprang from simplicity.
Wow. Wow, buddy. Amazing.
The funny thing is that the second guy drumming everywhere is our intern.
So there's still an internship possibility at Blogotheque.
And you can have incredible experiences.
Wow, that was stunning. And I got to see the full thing in a full theater in Paris last week in a private screening, and it is mind-blowing. So when it comes out, keep your eyes on the Blogotheque takeaway shows, Soirée de Poche,
Yeah.
pocket parties. Man, so unbelievable. Thank you so much for sharing everything that you've shared. I think, what's that?
I just said thank you.
You said it so sweetly. You said, thank you. I think we need to welcome our next guest if we can, but in the meantime, before we do so, I'd like to kick it over to Fred, because you got to give a bunch of stuff away, don't you?
I'm sitting over here. I've been watching. I've got a million things left here, and I want to give more away. Absolutely. So here we go. You ready, Mr. Chase? We're going to do the Chimera lighting kit with the new Octa 2 beauty dish, which is the first collapsible beauty dish that we've ever seen. I don't know if you've seen one. I've never seen one. So here's who that goes to. That goes to @PhoenixWeb. This is the quote right here. H's this do anything attitude, but we're not talking lying, cheating, stealing. There's the quote we grabbed out of the bag. Also, we've got the signed Polaroids and 300 cameras, 2 of those to give away. Up first, @NeneTest, the quote was, going to a show, we saw the color of the day. Oh, it's a black day, and there we went. And also @Vincent Landon, who said, quote, drop all your plans and follow your dreams. Great words to live by. Chase, giving that right back to you.
All right then. Wow. Well, without further ado, please join me in giving a big ass Seattle welcome to Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Yeah. Wow. We did it, huh?
We're here.
We're here. But speaking of here, every single person on the couch was in Paris, or in not Paris, but in Europe 3 days ago.
Yes.
You guys just got off a tour.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. What happened?
We took off about a week ago, a little over a week ago, and when we book flights, we don't do the direct flight. We wait till the last minute where we have to hit like 4 US cities, somewhere random in Europe, and then eventually end up in our destination.
Right. You saved $58 by
We
going
save $58, yeah. So,
Credit.
That's right.
yeah, on the way back, I think our flight from Dublin to Seattle took us from Dublin to Heathrow to Atlanta to Seattle.
30 hours.
30 hours of traveling.
That's how you got sick, right? You got a little funk.
Yeah, I got the funk on that leg of the journey. But yeah, it was an amazing trip. We got there, realizing that in London they drive on the opposite side of the road. And that was a challenge. But yeah, it was an amazing trip. I mean, the fact that we can go there, connect with fans from across the world, and they know the lyrics, and they were rowdy. It was like
I was reading the tweets.
Yeah.
You know, we follow one another on Twitter, and like I think the London show you said was the rowdiest show ever.
Until we got to Dublin, that was
Okay,
true.
so-
Dublin probably.
Well, I don't know what camera's live right now, but London, Dublin, you guys rock.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending it so hard for these guys.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, it's a bunch of sold out shows, and you've already got a bunch more sold out shows scheduled for the next leg of the tour, right?
Yeah.
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 Killing it, man.
Thank you.
So let's go back a little bit from when you weren't killing it. Okay.
Yes, 2 months ago.
Yep. Actually, it's I refer to myself as a classic 10-year overnight success, and I think yours is probably classic 5-year overnight
Yeah,
5 years.
15, whatever.
And it's hard work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So take me back to the days when there were no fans and when there were just you and your buddy, and when you did have a different job,
Yeah.
delivering pizzas or washing cars or whatever. And what was that like to be a part of that early transition? Because that's what I think the people in the world want to know about, that you were there doing that, and that's not that their personal current experience is not the way it always will be.
Yeah, well, I had kind of a interesting experience myself because I put out an album in 2005, and that got me out of my 9-to-5. It got me being able to support myself through my craft, which lasted like 3 years. So I got used to kind of like an artist lifestyle of being
Wait a
able
minute,
to support
one album,
myself.
3 years? I'm in the wrong business.
Well, yeah, that was the reason why.
I had
That-
one good photo shoot, and then
Yeah, then you're done, right?
Good for 3 years, man.
Well, yeah, that's kind of, that was the problem, was that, you know, I got kind of caught up in just kind of the lifestyle, drinking, smoking a bunch of weed, and not really handling my business, not handling my craft, and not putting my art at the forefront. So what kind of started out as this, you know, relatively lucrative, you know, on a independent level, career as a musician, eventually fizzled out. And by 2008, you know, I'd lost kind of whatever momentum that I had. I'd lost any promoters talking to me about, oh, come play this venue, that venue, all that ceased. And I was kind of back to ground zero, kind of coming back into life. So when Ryan and I hooked up around then, it was back to work. You know, I got out of rehab, I'm back at my parents' house, and Ryan and I, you know, Ryan's living at his parents' house, and we're
Sweet guys.
yeah, our parents are awesome. Thank you. And you know, it was super humble. It was super humbling, and a lot of that kind of, you know, I'm in my mid-20s and at this point, and there was a lot of pressure to get back on my feet, and this was going to be it. It was like I was either going to make it with whatever we were going to do next creatively, or have to go back and get a 9-to-5 or go back to school or figure out the next route. And luckily, the music started resonating with people, and it spread, and here we are on your couch.
Now, so a lot of our audiences, they're primarily creative folks, culturally curious folks, creative folks, photographers, filmmakers, musicians, even like a lot of graphic artists and traditional artists. And I think there are a lot of common stories, like the thread that you and I were working on with struggle and having to overcome boundaries, and the boundaries that you guys have had to, you know, that have had to push beyond and break through. You were a photographer before you had
I
this
was.
music gig with Mac. So talk to me about that, Ryan.
I've loved photography for a long time. I think I discovered it probably in high school ish, but I was already kind of into music. So I feel like my interest in photography had always kind of revolved around my interest in music. And it was always helpful to be able to promote your own projects and that sort of thing. And I'd always been interested in the visual arts in general, so photography, graphic design, later on into video. And then eventually, as I began to work with Ben, and up to this point, it's just put me in a position to be able to both make music and then help kind of execute our visual ideas and how we want to appear and that sort of thing in kind of the same job, which is cool.
Beautiful. And you guys met while shooting a project for Mac, right?
Yeah, we met on MySpace 5 years ago, something like that. And kind of around a beat, and then I had been getting into photography, so I probably convinced you to do a photo shoot, and then did photography for him and a bunch of other rappers at the time. And that was kind of the beginning. And then a couple years later, decided we were going to do something more serious.
Beautiful. Remember, we're going to #CJ Live if you have any questions for these cats. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking. And speaking of, I'm going to kick this to the crowd, so Fred's going to walk his mic over there. Question for these cats on the couch. What do you got? Please, all the way from Florida, right?
Yes, my name's Matthew Coughlin. I'm from Florida. You talked a minute ago about how you had it and you lost it. And when you decided to build yourself back up, how important did you realize that it was to focus on your craft? And now that you're doing what you love, is it the sense of richness inside it's more important than money, isn't it? And it's not about making money.
Yeah,
Can you talk
definitely.
about that?
Definitely. It was important to me transitioning back into real life. Coming out of treatment, coming out of just this haze and this lack of connection with anything greater than myself. I kind of lost all purpose. So it was really important for me to not only just get out of rehab and be like, okay, music, but it was working a holistic program of learning how to be fulfilled again. And through being of service to other people, through meditation, through writing, I think, and physical exercise as well, those were kind of the key components in terms of getting back on track. Because I can sit in front of a piece of paper and try to write all day long, but if I'm not experiencing anything outside of myself, if I'm only thinking about me, and just what's in front of me, my peripheral is just blocked. Any sort of connection to God, that creative force, is kind of blocked. So it's important to have your eyes open to all different angles of life when creating. So it's much bigger than just sitting down and being like, I'm going to work now. It's kind of a bigger picture.
Yeah, the best medicine seems to be living.
Yeah.
Right.
Like putting one foot in front of the other, and writer's block happens. And what do you call it in French? It's la page blanche.
La page blanche.
La page blanche.
I need to
which is
memorize that word.
la page blanche, which is the blank page, basically. And I was just talking to another French artist about this when I was in Paris last week, and it's not a new thing. It's been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and like the prescription of what gets one through that varies across artists. But the thing that is a recurring theme amongst the people that I talk to, at least, and it's like it has to do with actually deciding to live.
Yeah.
Because that if this is the best place for source material, and source material is playing video games and not doing much, there's some material there, but maybe there's more material elsewhere.
Yeah.
Well, where do you get your creative inspiration from, especially when you hit walls, Ryan?
I mean, I would agree across the board. I mean, I think whether you're a writer, a photographer, you make music, or a beat maker, I think if you're locked up all the time, particularly I think if you hit success, that pressure just totally changes. Once you realize there is an audience that's going to be listening to whatever you're making, everything switches. And I think that's the biggest difference between kind of what it's like to try and be creative right now and what it was like to try and be creative back when we were at the parents' house and we had no idea whether anyone was going to be listening. And I think that very much is the answer. If you can have the discipline to have your work life, but also push yourself to go out and experience things and be spontaneous and get inspiration elsewhere. I think that it's weird. It doesn't seem obvious, but I do think it helps you to come back and be more natural.
Absolutely. I'm on record in hundreds of interviews from saying I have a huge respect for photography and photographers and my peers and the masters who've come before me, all of the Arbus, Avedon, Mapplethorpe, Ansel Adams, all the people that photography names that people know. But my inspiration came from artists in the 60s, 70s, 80s in New York, because they weren't just making art, they were kind of reinventing it. And that's outside of photography. When I talk about those, Robert Rauschenberg's work, most photographers, they just kind of cock their head sideways and they don't get it. But when I listen to the lyrics that are a part of the songs, it's not, it's of life, right? It's of life. It's of things that are not typical to everyone's experience, and yet everyone's experience is somehow, there's a thread that says, I'm like that. Somehow, my thing's a little bit different, but I'm like that.
Yeah.
So, speaking of you guys meeting, the first time we met was ironically, and this is kind of the reason we're all together here, starting to see a thread, at a songs, feeding, and drinking event that we had at our studio. And I was working with Sabzi and Gio from Blue Scholars. There's a really rich hip hop community here in Seattle, and it's explosive. Shabazz and Jake One and Common Market, and we could just list thousands of groups probably, but it's good, it's rich. And it was our goal, me and my partner, Michael Hebb, to get a group together that had never been together. And Sabzi says, my man Macklemore is on that list. And I was like, oh cool, I'm not familiar with his work, talk to me about it.
Yeah.
And he told the great story about you that I'll let Sabzi tell someone someday again, so that I don't chew up too much of the real estate here. But I want to take the crowd and the audience at home and here back to that first performance that I ever saw you at our studio. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, definitely.
A cappella.
Yeah.
And it's your performance. Why don't you introduce the song?
At the time, it was called Air Jordans, and I remember I had taken a nap, woke up, and for some reason realized that Songs for Eating and Drinking was in like 45 minutes. And I did not know that it was that day, but for some reason I was like, oh, it's the 14th, it's in 45 minutes. So I'm like going through my computer, trying to figure out what I'm gonna play or what I'm gonna recite, and Air Jordans, which then turned into Wings, is what I printed up.
Which then is probably your most well-known track right now, would you say?
One of them, yeah, definitely top 3.
Cool. Well, let's see the most early stripped-down version of that thing. First time it was ever performed, right here.
It goes like, make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, but don't let the game change you. To hip-hop, I'll forever remain faithful. To all my people, stay true. And I said, make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, don't let the game change you. To hip-hop, I'll forever remain faithful. To all my people, stay true. Now, I was 7 years old when I got my first pair, and I went outside, and I said, Mama, this air bubble here, this is gonna make me fly. I hit that court, and when I jumped, I swore that I got so high, I touched the net. Mom, I touched the net. This is the best day of my life. Air Maxes were next. That air bubble, that mesh, the box, the smell, the stuff in the laces, the tread, that texture, red. At school, I was so cool, and I knew that I couldn't increase them. My friends, they couldn't afford them. 4 stripes on their Adidas. On the court, I wasn't the best, but my kicks, they were like the pros, yo. I'd stick out my tongue just like Mike so everyone could see that logo. Nike Air Flight book bag my godfather bought me, that was so dope. Then my friend Carlos's brother got murdered for his 4s. Whoa. He just wanted a jump shot. They wanted to start a cult though. Didn't want to get caught rocking one of those round Genesee Park and Othello. You get clowned for those pro wings with the Velcro. Those were not tight. I was trying to fly without leaving the ground because I wanted to be like Mike, right? That was my role model. I wanted to be him. I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to get rim. I wanted to be cool, and I wanted to fit in. I wanted what he had. America, it begins. Now, it goes, make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, don't let the game change you. To hip hop, I'll forever remain faithful. To all my people, stay true. Now, we want what we can't have. The commodity makes us want it. That's so expensive, but damn, man, I just got to flaunt it. Got to show them. It's so exclusive. It's that new shit. This is improvement. $150 for a pair of basketball shoes that I would never hoop in. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a cool kid. I'm an individual, yeah? But I'm part of a movement. My movement told me be a consumer, and I consumed it. They told me to just do it. I listened to what that swoosh said. Look at what that swoosh did. It consumed me. It consumed my thoughts. Are you stupid? Don't crease them. Just leave them in that box. I'm strangled by these laces. These laces, I can barely talk. That's my air bubble. Don't touch it. I'm lost if it pops. We are what we wear, and we wear what we are. I pretend like I don't care, but Phil Knight, he bopped us all. Do I stand for change, or will I stay in my box? These Nikes help me define me, but I'm trying to take mine off.
Whoa. Can we get some applause right up there? Damn. Wow. Oh man. So the comments and the questions are pouring in. Explain, make the money, don't make the game. Make the money, don't let the money make you. For Gareth Jones.
Well, that actually ended up being a completely different song than Wings.
But give me the ethos behind it. Like, what's making you say that?
It was a song that I was actually working on. It was written a long time ago, and it was a song that I was working on with Experience, who was a person that I make a lot of music with. And that was going to be on a completely different song. It has had so many different stages up until this point. But what it really means is just coming from a place of pure, genuine authenticity over any sort of financial gain, and remaining true to who you are as an artist. And I think that it's one of the most challenging things, because the money and the fame.
You start getting the checks waved in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just easy to forget the purpose, to forget why you're really creating art, and it becomes all these exterior, outside of yourself motives that come into play that weren't there when you were just making it for yourself, or for your friends, or for a small group of people that were listening to you, that you felt so blessed that were listening to you. All of a sudden it becomes a commodity, it becomes this thing that is being sold and being marketed, and it's a challenge to remain true to who you are and to create from that pure place that you initially started from.
You've heard that a couple times today, right? It's been said by Chryde and now by both these cats. It's not meant to be trite. It's so easy to get distracted, and there's so many things flying in front of you, especially when you're on a great path of success. You just said the words though, when people want to hear some music from you, you got to look inside. Well, we kind of want to hear some music, and I'm wondering, Ryan, do you think you might be able to drop some? Yeah.
We'll do that.
All right, I'm going to cut over here for just a second, give away some more cool stuff, and we'll come back to you guys in just a bit.
Sounds perfect.
Thanks a lot. All right, Fred.
Yeah.
What do you got to give away, man?
We've
Talk
got all
to me.
sorts of stuff. While you guys reset, I mean, I know that we've got some B&H photo gift cards too. I thought maybe we'd throw one of those. We've got a $100 gift card to whoever came the farthest to be here. So who here just in the studio audience came the farthest? Just raise your hand. I mean, we've got a guy from Florida. You think you came the farthest? Anyone else? Can anyone beat Florida? All right, then Mr. Florida's going to get a $100 gift card. Well, France, sure. But you can't be a guest and win, monsieur. All right, so we're throwing one of those your way. Again, we want to thank all of these amazing sponsors. If you're just joining us right now, we've already given away this not yet released Octa2 beauty dish from Chimera, as well as a super small Pro light bank plus 2 speed rings. That was to @PhoenixWeb, who said it's this do anything attitude, but we're not talking lying, cheating, or stealing. So thanks again. Also, these amazing Polaroid cameras right here. You're seeing them up on my left, the Polaroid 300s. We gave 2 of those away. One to @NeneTest, who tweeted, going to a show, we saw the color of the day. Oh, it's a black day, and there we went. And also to @Vincent Landon, drop all your plans and follow your dreams. Also won one of these cool Polaroid 300s. So, still to go, my friends, we've got the full Senso 2-head lighting kit from Broncolor, valued at $4,300. If you're just joining us, you can still tweet to win that prize. Just make sure you tag @BronImaging in your tweet. Grab your favorite quote from the show, put that in there. Put, of course, hashtag CJ Live, as well as the URL or the short URL for the live page here at chasejarvis.com/live. We are good to go, Chase. I'm throwing it your way. Let's open the big doors and see what's behind them.
Ladies and gentlemen, it brings me great pleasure to introduce Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
How you guys doing? Hello, internet. All right. Now, this is my job, and I will not quit it. Pull me out the depths when I thought that I was finished. Yeah, I question if I could go the distance. That's just the work, regardless of who's listening. Listen. See, I was meant to be a warrior, fight something amongst me, leave here victorious. Classroom of kids, or a venue performing. If I did it for the money, I'd have been a fucking lawyer. Concrete vagabond man telling stories. Humbled by the road, I'm realizing I'm not important. See, life's a beautiful struggle, I record it. Hope it helps you maneuvering through yours. And that's why we stay in the lab at night. I've been staring into this pad for over half my life. A true artist won't be satisfied, so I guess that's the sacrifice. And I said, make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, don't let the game change you. I'll forever remain faithful, all my people stay true. I said, make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, don't let the game change you. I'll forever remain faithful, all my people stay true. Now, forget about the fame portion of the mansion. Sitting and tripping, watching myself on the plasma. Yeah, I start slipping when I'm thinking about that stuff. Ego on swollen till karma catches that up. Now I'm my grandma's #1 grandson. Lost myself to remember who that was. We start thinking about some kicks, a necklace. What I really need is a job on Craigslist. Take away the .com, name, love, fans, the Twitter followers, and the buzz. See, you keep the issues, but you take away the drugs. I had to find out who I really was. Who I really was. So sick of who I was becoming. Yeah, tired of running. Time to look at the man in the mirror until I can learn to love him. Make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, don't let the game change you. I'll forever remain faithful. All my people stay true. I said, make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, don't let the game change you. I'll forever remain faithful. All my people stay true. Let's go. For my live studio audience, say go DJ, go DJ, go. Say go DJ, go DJ, go. Alright, make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, don't let the game change you. I'll forever remain faithful. All my people stay true. Can I get a clap from you guys like this? Make the money, don't let the money make you. Change the game, don't let the game change you. Faithful. All my people stay true. Stay true. Thank you guys. So we came here to obviously sit on the couch, but we came here to have a party as well. You guys with us? All right, let's have some fun. One time. All right, okay. All right, okay. All right, okay. Now, return to the Mac. What it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Look up on better way to get it better, better. Instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit me get up. First shot, pimp, show, walking. Little bit of humble, little bit of cautious. Like Rocky Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy it. Bad, Milwaukee. This here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it our way. Chrome music. I shed my skin and put my bones into everything. I record to it. And yeah, like, let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft, stick around for those pounds. I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with a 4-track busting. Halfway across my city with the fat cat crushing. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Rain down to let's go.
This is the moment, tonight is the night. We will fight till it's over.
So we put our hands up
like the ceiling can't hold us.
Talk to him.
Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Let's go.
This is the moment, tonight is the night. We will fight till it's over.
So we put our hands up
like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Now, can I kick it? Thank you. Yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts. That's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me. Go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on Shark Week. Raw. Time to go, gone. Deuces goodbye. I got a world to see. Girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer. Nah, never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes, so giving it back to the people. Now sing the song. It goes like, raise those hands. This is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility. Then we keep marching. I say,
go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over.
And so we put our hands up
like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over.
And so we put our hands up
like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
And we bring it down like. And so we put our hands up. So we put our hands up. Let's take
fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Go back, this is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Ray Dalton, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's do it.
I'd love a stool. If someone can grab me a stool, that would be amazing. You need a stool, Mac? You all right? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Tons of energy. So talk to me about the 2 tracks. What did we hear? What album are they on?
They will both be on our upcoming album.
Ooh, that's a treat. Do you get that?
Yeah, our upcoming album. We don't have a name yet, but they'll be on that.
How about the names of the tracks?
First one was Make the Money. Second one is Can't Hold Us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You're used to playing in front of 10,000 people, and these lucky 40. Yeah, they were there. They were there. Any questions for Macklemore about this, you guys? Yeah, right here.
From passion to business, how has branding either encroached or enhanced your craft?
Passion to business, how has
Branding
encroached or helped enhanced your craft? You have an amazing brand, man, because it's so pure. Like, talk to us about that for a second.
Good question. I think it's kind of a gift and a curse. On one hand, Ryan and I do everything pretty much ourselves. We have a talented team of people, but it's a very small team of people. We work with a couple of videographers and a couple of photographers, Jason Koenig, who's in the audience, who directed my music video and Other Side video. But for the most part, it's a very small team, and Ryan and I are at kind of the forefront creatively. So that can take away from time that normally you would have a record label doing that, and we would just be in the studio all the time. A lot of it, we're generating pictures, we're generating graphics, we're thinking of merch ideas, we're designing the merch, we're talking to the printing press about printing the merch. You know, all of it is kind of done by us. And the more success that we have, we're able to outsource it a little bit, but we are control freaks.
But that's also kind of like the gift. And the tough part is that you don't really want to outsource it. But we also have to make, or want to make, like a record. So it's tough. Like, I love the fact that we get to do everything and that we have the ability to do that, to be hands-on with the way a font looks or the way album art looks. Like, I think that's rare. I think a lot of artists have to pass that on to somebody else and either don't care about it or don't have the control over it. So the control is awesome, but you hit a certain point where your team is just way too small.
Well, I'm going to get you back to the place that other people want you to be, not talking to me, but talking to them through music. So, respect, keep it going. I'm going to give, Fred's going to give away a couple $100 gift certificates to the people who are rocking the most. So prepare yourself.
And we are
challenge.
We are in that as well. They're running. So if we jump higher than you, then we get the $100. So it's a contest.
This next song, we thought that we would take it back to the original days of songs for eating and drinking and do Wings. Let's go. I was 7 years old when I got my first pair, and I stepped outside, and I was like, Mama, this air bubble right here, it's gonna make me fly. I hit that court. And when I jumped, I swear I got so high. I touched the net, Mom, I touched the net. This is the best day of my life. Air Maxes were next. That air bubbled, that mesh, the box, the smell, the stuffing, the tread at school. I was so cool, I knew that I could increase them. My friends couldn't afford them. 4 stripes on their Adidas. On the court, I wasn't the best. My kicks are like the pros, yo. Stick out my tongue so everyone could see that logo. Nike Air Flight, but bag was so dope. And my friend Carlos's brother got murdered for his 4s. Whoa. See, he just wanted a jump shot, But they wanted to start a cult, though. Didn't want to get caught. From Genesee Park to Othello. You get clowned for those pro wings. Velcro, those were not tight. I was trying to fly without leaving the ground. Cause I wanted to be like Mike, right? Wanted to be him. I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to touch the rim. I wanted to be cool and I wanted to fit in. Wanted what he had. America, it begins.
I wanna fly, can you take me far away? Give me a star to reach for, tell me what.
Yeah, you know it, you can sing the words. Let's go.
I'll go so high, my feet won't touch the ground. Just hitch my wings and pull the strings. I got these dreams that all fall.
We want what we can't have. Commodity makes us want it. So expensive, damn. I just got to flaunt it, got to show 'em. So exclusive, this, that new shit. $100 for a pair of shoes. I would never hoop it. Look at me, I'm a cool kid. I'm an individual, yeah, but I'm part of a movement. My movement told me be a consumer, I consumed it. They told me to just do it, I listened to what that swoosh said. Look at what that swoosh did. See, it consumed my thoughts. Are you stupid? Don't crease them, leave them in that box. Strangled by these laces, I can barely talk. That's my air bubble and I'm lost. If it pops, we are what we wear what we are. But see, I look inside the mirror, think the night tricked us all. Will I stand for change? Stay on my box. Mackie's helped me to find me, but I'm trying to take mine. Started out with what I wear to school that first day. Like these are what make you cool. And this pair, this would be my parachute. So much more than just a pair of shoes. Nah, this is what I am. What I wore, this is the source of my youth. This dream that they sold to you. For $100 and some change, consumption is in the veins. And now I see it's just another pair of shoes. Thank you, guys.
One more time. Just give it up. I'm shooting with my favorite Polaroid 600 SE right now. I gotta get one of these. This is tough. A little tight.
Rap pose.
One more. Rap pose. These are the ones that are gonna go out to the
I don't
people.
know why we do. It's like immediately this piece. Angle.
Do an angle for them for me, would you? There you go. Mm-hmm. There we go. All right. Thanks, Norton. So, any questions from the crowd? This is the last chance. We're gonna take just 2 or 3 minutes here and get some questions in. Go ahead. You're right. You were rocking pretty hard. You're in the running for the.
I'm talking to Macklemore. Okay, so can you explain your process of when you write your songs? Because your lyrics are just like mind-boggling. Like, I can't even talk right now because they make me speechless.
Well, thank you.
Oh my God.
That's very nice of you. Every song is different. Sometimes it's Ryan sends me a beat. Like he made a beat yesterday, sent it to me. I heard it on my iPhone in the car when I was driving home, and immediately was like, I need to write right now. I ran into my apartment and literally there was a package waiting for us, and I just passed the package and just went to the couch and just immediately, turned it on, started writing for the next 4 hours. And we'll see, now I get to play Ryan what I wrote last night later on today and see if he likes it. And a lot of times, Ryan will hear it and be like, I like this part, this part's corny, this sucks, I hate the whole thing. It just kind of depends. And then sometimes I won't write to a beat and I will just write and just channel something and put it on the paper, and then later on spit it for Ryan, see if he likes it. If he likes it, then he'll kind of build the beat around it. So there's not really a go-to every single time, but that's kind of the general formation of how it happens. You guys need a group hug?
I wanted to, again, we're gonna wind up with a song. I got a couple of notes before we do. I saw some people rocking pretty hard, but who needs $100 from B&H? Is there someone who could make use of that? Right back there, that's you. And you're a Brooks student? Broke student, even better. Or not better, worse, but you guys need to see, who do you see? Megan after the show. And I got one more. That sounds beautiful. See Megan after the show for thanks to B&H there. And then the big grand finale. Oh, look at that, you're right there.
Look, I'm conveniently located, Chase.
Fred's going to give away something pretty serious here, close to $5,000, $4,300 or something like that. Why don't you tell the people what you're giving away?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Grand prize right now, yeah, as you know, the Broncolor Senso, the 2-head kit consists of a 1200 watt A2 strobe pack, the 2 Lido strobe heads, 1 soft box, the carrying case. That's going to @CarryPhoto, who I thought tweeted a really great quote from today's show. Come from a place of pure, genuine authenticity. Remain true to who you are as an artist. So you're going to be creating some amazing images with that gear. And it's a great quote to end the show on.
Thanks. We're going to roll right out of this show, right out of Mac's last song here. And then we're going to linger and hang out with these folks for a while, have some beverages and get to mingle. So, man, do what you do, guys, gals.
All right, we're gonna end it with a song about the greatest sportscaster to ever call the game of baseball. This song is called My Oh My. Let's go. We like to clap our hands. So if you guys feel alive today, go ahead and clap with us and say, hey, oh, come on, it goes. A little louder, say, hey, oh, come on, it goes. All right, now, I used to sit with my dad in the garage. The sawdust, pines all in that moss. Around every spring, when that winter thaw, huddle around the radio, twist the broken knob, 7:10 a.m. No KJR, Davey House's voice echoed throughout the yard. Couldn't have been older than 10. To me and my friends, that voice on the other end might as well have been God's. 1995, the division series, Eggers at to bat, bottom of the 11th inning, got the whole town listening. Swung on, belted, the words distorted, Joy Core around stern. Here comes Griffey, a thought of the plates, not a time. My oh my, the Mariners win it. Yes, fireworks that lit up that ceiling. The kingdom, we had just made history like.
Here comes Joy. Here is Junior at third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues.
Lace are woven, barely holding that stitch. Creases the time amongst the grime and the grit. When the leather, he used to pound his fist. The summit's just a myth, but see that glove was him. Yeah, tell me stories in the field with that sun-stained brim. Blood under my chin, taught me how to spit. Sunflower seeds back with me and my crew. Sunburnt arms, big league chew. Yeah, we were like the salad after dinner. After practice, we listened to the M's in the kitchen. And if mom wasn't tripping, come on, dad, please, I swear. One more inning, voice would pump through the system. Break out the rye bread. It's grand salami time, my oh my, another victory, yeah. My city, childhood, my life, watching Griffey right under those lights. Now, I don't know where you're from, I don't know who's tuning in today, but if you have a team, and that team defines your community, that team defines your city, it defines your state, it defines who you are, that we have something in common. Repeat, say 1, 2, 1, but 1, 2, say. Come on, say 1, 2, 1, but 1, 2, say. That's right, say my oh my, say my oh my, say my oh my, my oh my. Under that
that light rain, beaming in that night gang. Can't stop now, keep moving, no break pads. Came here to prove a point, live my life on the field, make history in between the base path, and compete against the fear that is in me. That's my only barrier. I swear that I'ma break that. From the mud, the cleats that we chug through the feet. This is that moment, you cannot take it back. I don't really collect cards anymore, just a box, some old cardboard. Memories embedded in that dust. Virus the age just like us, living somewhere off in a drawer. And this is what you make of it. Yeah, we play to win, live it like we're under the lights of the stadium. Fight until the day that God decides to wave us in. Right, until he waves us in. It's my city, childhood, my life, that's right. Under those lights, it's my city, childhood, that's right. Me house, my oh my, come on. My city, childhood, my life, that's right. Under those lights, it's my city, childhood, that's right. Me house, my oh my, rest in peace. Peace.